So hey there YouTube. In today's video I'm going to do another pitch. The pitch that I'll be discussing today is an idea I've had for a while now. Today I want to discuss my idea for a Superman game. I wanted to do this video for a while now. I've always had the idea of a Superman game in the back of my head, but I first wanted to get done with the Batman game pitch and the Spider-Man show pitch first, then tackle this subject next. When it comes to the concept of a Superman game, I see that people are really mixed on the idea. On one hand, you have people who, are all for a Superman game, who really want to see Superman make it big in the gaming industry because he hasn't really had a good, game. Like, he hasn't had his own Arkham Asylum like Batman. And on the other hand, you have people who don't like the idea and are against it. It's also, they use the same arguments that other people use to say why Superman is a boring character, and it is Superman is overpowered. Yeah, so essentially the same argument that people use to say why Superman is a boring character. I get that Superman is not an easy character to write, and that I know he's essentially a god. I know that. But listen here, I still think you can make a Superman game even though he has all these insane powers. And that's what I'm gonna talk about today. I'm gonna talk about how I would structure the game around Superman's powers and why I think it's still possible, and how I would try to not make it boring and make it engaging for people. So when we get into the cast of the game, it's going to be classic Superman characters. You have, obviously the main protagonist, Clark Kent, who's Superman. His love interest, Lois Lane. His friend, Jimmy Olsen. Perry White, his boss. Then you have Mark Kent, Superman's adoptive mother, and Park Kent, sadly, he passed away. And then you have Jor-El, the hologram of Jor-El at the Fortress of Solitude, he's the hologram of his biological father. Then I'm adding Lex Luthor into the mix. Lex, just so you know, Lex is not the main antagonist. He appears, but he's not the main antagonist for this game. But he becomes the main antagonist probably in the sequel. The main antagonist for the game is Brainiac. I picked Brainiac, and this isn't the version of Brainiac from the comics. This version of Brainiac that I have chosen is the Brainiac that's inspired by Superman the animated series. So this version of Brainiac is the supercomputer that was created on Krypton, and if you watch the show, he was also responsible for Krypton's destruction because he lied to them about the planet blowing up. And so look, the whole thing about Brainiac is that he goes to different planets, he collects knowledge for them, but he also destroys the entire planet so that there's nothing that remains of them in order to make the knowledge more valuable, from what I remember. So a terrifying villain. He's also like the main antagonist of Injustice 2, but I remember him from Superman the animated series and from Krypton, that Superman spin-off show. So the synopsis is this story, takes place in its own universe. In this universe, by this point, Superman is not known to the world. His existence is unknown to the world. This is like Superman in his early years. This is year 2 for him. So I'm doing an Arkham Origins type story here. So this is year 2 for Superman. He's just fought petty criminals and helped people. Like if you know from Man of Steel, he helped those people on the oil rig. So he's been doing that, but his existence is not known to the world yet. He's already moved to Metropolis now, and he's got a job at the Daily Bugle. But now he wants to take on the moniker of Superman, and so in the beginning he goes to the Fortress of Solitude and he starts training to get a hold of his powers and become the legendary Man of Steel that everyone knows and loves. Then Brainiac comes into the mix later on in the story. So, okay, gameplay. How I would structure the gameplay. In the beginning of the story, Clark will only have 2 abilities available. His ability to fly, his superhuman strength, and his laser beams that shoots out from his eyes. As the story progresses, he starts to unlock more of his abilities like freeze, breath, X-ray vision, and superhuman hearing. I think this helps balance out his powers throughout the game and makes sense narratively, as this is an inexperienced Superman who's still trying to get a hold of these powers. Yeah, because he hasn't mastered them yet. And also, look, I'm gonna add a skill tree in because the skill tree helps also even things out, and it helps add to his established abilities. Like he can use his super strength to, like, when he claps, he creates like a small earthquake which stuns enemies for a short while. Or like you can upgrade his laser vision so that he can do trick shots with his laser vision, so it can ricochet from enemy to enemy. Also onto enemies now. So my idea for the enemy types, to balance out the enemy types in the game, there are going to be 4 factions. The first ones are your normal street thugs that are doing petty crimes for the city, like robbing a bank or like a mom and pop shop. I don't think there's a problem with having, like, the normal and street thugs. I think, like, in order to show that Superman is all powerful, you have to show that he can still solo some street thugs, and I think it would still be fun even if you had normal enemy types. The second enemy type would be the much more harder enemy types that you would face later on in the story, which are Brainiac's minions. And for these robots, I'm thinking of making them like, an army of Metallo. So basically, they are powered by kryptonite, which is one of Superman's main weaknesses. But also, I thought about how about you also have some robots, Metallos, that are powered by red sun, to make them more interesting. Like they can shoot out lasers of red sun, and they can cause extra damage with kryptonite or red sun than other enemies. And also the other enemy type I've thought about introducing is the Toyman. Alright, the robotic toys created by the Toyman. So the Toyman is relegated to a side mission where he's going on all these heists, and you have to figure out what he's up to. And for these side missions, also getting into the side missions. So I thought about making these Toyman missions like detective, like a Sherlock Holmes type missions. To show the detective side of Superman, to show that there's more to him than just bow 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 bow. That in these missions, Clark would be himself, normally investigating what's happening at the crime scene and gain information to pinpoint the location of the Toyman, and also to find out what he is scheming. So like these won't just be normal bank heists. These will be like heists at different facilities, like let's say Star Labs, alright. And my idea for these missions, you would like do mini games throughout the mission. In these missions, like when Clark's investigating, he would like have to use superhuman hearing. He's super hearing to hear the heartbeat of a person talking, to see if they're lying or they're telling the truth. And if they're lying, he would try to persuade them to tell the truth in order to get more information. Another ability that Clark can use during these investigations is his X-ray vision. He would use his X-ray vision to look through certain surfaces in order to find crucial evidence. So yeah, that's my idea for the side mission. So though the other 4th enemy type I forgot to mention now are like Lex Luthor's thugs, his goons. Lex is also has his goons running amok in the city, like stealing like I would say that. I'm not sure how. Okay, for the main story, I haven't gone to it, but Lex would have these goons like researching what Brainiac's technology, and they would be high tech, so that would help them to separate the normal human thugs from these advanced human thugs, man. Right? So also for the open world, it would have these locations: Metropolis, Smallville, and the Fortress of Solitude. Another location I also want to add is Brainiac's ship, right? So in Metropolis, the entirety of Metropolis is free to traverse in, and for Smallville, I'm not sure if I would make the entirety of Smallville like open world, but like you go to Smallville at certain points in the story to see Mark Kent, at the farm that Superman grew up in, and you'll be able to interact with certain parts of the farm, which enact certain cutscenes that show Superman's past and how he grew up with his powers, and also his memories of Park Kent. Then you would explore the Fortress of Solitude, which is where Superman will learn the history of his planet and learn more about his birth parents, Jor-El. Sorry, I forgot his mother's name now, but he learned the history of his birth parents, and he learned how Krypton was destroyed, and he will also learn Brainiac's part in the destruction of Krypton. But also, for the Fortress of Solitude, would be the perfect ideal place where the player can hone in their skills and learn how to use their abilities that they've gathered throughout the game, like arena where you get to fight holograms. Uh, all right, so that's what I also talk about implementing. Then Brainiac's ship is where you would fight Brainiac in like the end at the game, but for Brainiac's ship you would like see all these different planets that have been shrink down. Like similar to his ship in the Batman the animated series and Injustice 2. So yeah,